When you think of AI, what comes to mind? Flying cars? Robot butlers? Well, the truth is, artificial intelligence isn't some far-off sci-fi dream. It's here, right now. It's in your pocket, it's in your shopping cart, and it's quietly changing, well, everything about business. Just how deep does this rabbit hole go? I think you're going to be surprised.
Okay, so let me ask you something straight up. When was the last time you actually talked to an AI? Seriously, think about it. Was it like last week, last month, ever?
Whatever you just answered, I'm willing to bet you're off. Because the reality is, you've probably interacted with an AI today. Yep, today. Maybe even in the last hour.
You know when Amazon suggests that one thing you didn't even know you needed, but now you can't live without? Or when Netflix just knows the exact movie you're in the mood for? That's AI. It's the magic behind your Facebook feed, curating what you see. It's the voice assisting on your phone or your smart speaker. It's not just around us, it's literally woven into the fabric of our digital lives.
So yeah, there you have it. AI has made the jump. It's gone from science fiction movies straight into your shopping cart. It's this quiet revolution that's happening all around us, every single day. All right, so if this is a revolution, what's powering it? What's the engine under the hood? Well, it really boils down to two key things. And let's start with the fuel.
Everything, and I mean everything, starts with data. But we're not talking about a little bit of data, we're talking about big data. Think of it as this massive, ever-expanding ocean of information that's generated every single second. From every click, every social media post, every Google search, every interaction with a smart device, all of it. This is the fuel that makes AI run.
And look, this data isn't just big, it's incredibly complex. People in the know talk about the 4 V's. First, you've got volume, just the unbelievable amount of it. Then there's velocity, the insane speed at which it's all being created. You've also got variety. It's not just numbers, it's text, images, videos, you name it. And finally, and this is a big one, veracity. How much of it is actually accurate? Can you trust it? Trying to wrestle these 4 V's is like the central challenge for anyone working in AI today.
Okay, so you've got this ocean of fuel, right? But fuel is pretty useless if you don't have an engine to burn it. In the world of AI, that engine has a name, machine learning. These are the powerful algorithms that can actually learn from all that data without a human having to write code for every single possibility. Now, there are a bunch of ways machines can learn, but let's just touch on 2 of the big ones. First, you've got supervised learning. This is kind of like giving the AI a cheat sheet or an answer key. You feed it a ton of data that's already labeled with the right answers, and it learns the patterns. On the other hand, you have reinforcement learning. Think of this like teaching a dog a new trick. It's all about trial and error. The AI tries something, and if it's a good move, it gets a reward. Bad move, it gets a penalty. Over time, it learns to make better and better decisions.
And this feedback loop of trial and error, it's incredibly powerful. You have what's called an agent, that's the AI, and it takes an action out in the world. Then it gets feedback, either a reward or a penalty. It takes that feedback, learns from it, adjusts its strategy, and tries again, and again, and again. Each time it gets a little bit smarter. This is exactly, and I mean exactly, how Google's AlphaGo taught itself to become the world's best player at the ridiculously complex game of Go.
Now, the idea of AI isn't new. It's been around for decades. But look at this timeline. The pace of real breakthroughs is just accelerating like crazy. In 1996, beating a chess master was a huge deal. Then in 2011, IBM's Watson understands the nuances of human language on Jeopardy! And just 5 years later, AlphaGo masters Go, a game with more possible moves than atoms in the universe. This isn't just about getting better at games. This kind of exponential progress is what's completely changing the game for business.
So, okay, we've got the fuel, big data. We've got the engine, machine learning. But what's the so what? How are real companies actually using this stuff to tear up the old playbook and get a massive leg up on the competition?
Okay, check this out. It's a perfect example. A customer is shopping online and their cart is worth, say, $28. Pretty standard. But now watch what happens when AI steps in. The system notices a hesitation, so it triggers a dynamic price drop. Then, based on their history, it offers a personal discount on a related item. And just before checkout, a perfectly timed recommendation pops up. Boom! Suddenly, that same shopping cart is worth $99. That is the power of an algorithmic business right there.
And you better believe this kind of investment pays off. Just look at Amazon.
They pour way more of their money into IT than their competitors. And what do they get for it? A mind-blowing 35% of their sales come directly from their automated recommendation engine. That's not just some cool little feature, it's a fundamental pillar of their entire business.
And this isn't just a retail thing, not by a long shot. Think about business-to-business sales. AI is an absolute game changer. It can crunch through millions of data points, who's visiting the website, what companies are talking about on social media, all of it, to predict which potential customers are most likely to buy. So instead of making 100 cold calls, a sales team can just focus on the few who are actually ready to talk. The result? They can boost their success rate by up to 300%. It's just smarter.
All right, so all of this is building up to a really profound shift. It's changing how we even interact with technology. For years, it's been about tapping on a screen full of little icons, but we're moving towards something way more natural, something we do every day, just having a conversation.
And this isn't some niche trend. We're talking about 3 billion people who basically live inside messaging apps, using them constantly. Think about it. We all have app fatigue, right? Who wants to download another brand new app just to do one simple thing? Nobody. So the conversation itself, the chat window, is becoming the new platform.
And the AIs we're talking to, they're getting scary good. I mean, look at this. In one test, people described Amazon's Alexa not just as useful, but as empathetic and clever. These aren't just simple tools anymore. They're literally being engineered with personalities, designed to build a connection with you.
So you take this huge shift to messaging, and you combine it with these increasingly smart, personality-driven AIs, and you get a prediction that sounds kind of insane, but makes a lot of sense. The idea is that bots aren't just going to be another option. They're going to replace most of the websites and apps we use today.
So, this all leads to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? With AI becoming this powerful, this woven into everything we do, what does it all mean for us? For our jobs? For the skills we need? What does the future actually look like? And of course, that brings up the big fear, right? The whole man versus machine thing, the anxiety that robots are coming for all the jobs. And some studies do predict that a huge chunk of today's jobs are at risk. But there's another way to look at it, the man and machine vision. In this version of the future, AI doesn't replace us. It becomes an intelligence amplifier. It does the heavy lifting, the brutal data analysis that no human could ever do, which frees us up to focus on the things that make us human: creativity, big picture strategy, and connecting with other people.
So maybe the challenge isn't about a world with no jobs. Maybe the real challenge is a world that requires a whole new set of skills. We have to shift away from the repetitive stuff that machines can do better and double down on those abilities that are uniquely human.
And that leads to a really important point, summed up perfectly by this quote from Jerry Kaplan. He said, "AI does not put people out of business, it puts skills out of business." Let that sink in for a second. It's not about people becoming obsolete. It's about the skills we spent years learning maybe not being the right skills for tomorrow. It's about the need for a total evolution in what we choose to be good at.
Because look, this whole algorithmic business thing, it's not science fiction, it's not coming soon, it's already here, and it's picking up speed every single day. So the only real question left is the one you have to ask yourself: are your skills ready for what's coming next?